Reiko, we've been waiting for 20 minutes.
I wouldn't say that.
She's just so cute under that box.
EA could actually launch a game that doesn't suck.
You know what this game needs?
Holy
Ponies.
Just like everybody.
Anybody else notice that the protagonist looks a lot like Egoraptor?
This week is going to be as awesome as Duke Nukem Forever. Hello, Bluescreen Bronies faithful, and welcome to episode 58. I think we're going to call this one Watching the Titans Fall. Hey, get it? Titanfall beta and Lightning Returns is boring. Never mind. Anyway, let's continue. We're starting off a new format this week, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, Lightning Returns. The reviews have been coming out left and right, and none are pleased with the new installment. Seems people were much happier with the first two games. I guess Square kind of took a lesson from Spielberg on this one. You know, make a really good movie and then kind of screwed up with two really bad sequels. Just saying. New Pokemon news out of Japan. If you don't like your Pokemon events spoiled, please walk away, come back in 10 seconds, where we'll all have EV trained on all of them already. I mean, there's going to be 3, so you get some time. Well, with every Pokemon movie, there's a series of legendaries that seem to pop up, but these seem to revolve around a new fairy type that came out. Guess we get to see why Charizard is so awesome yet again. Oh boy, today is Microsoft's biggest time to sell more of those lovely NSA boxes, I mean Xbox Ones. With Titanfall beta around the corner, people are scrambling to get their beta keys. I played a lot of Battlefield 2142 back in the day, so this might seem interesting. But with so many MMOFPS games out there, will this one be able to survive past the hype week or not? Only time will tell. Let's hope they don't error 34 it. Take a lesson from Blizzard there. You know, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Well, it finally happened. Peggy! Get the shiny ribbons and the party stuff. We're gonna throw a celebration.
I don't do parties.
Well, now that's over. And so is our wait for the Stick of Truth. We've been waiting for this one for a little while. Obsidian Games, you know, people that brought us Neverwinter Nights 2, Fallout New Vegas, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, and the always awesome game of the year, Dungeon Siege 3. Yeah, I hated it too. I can't wait to see what the Stick of Truth really brings to the table as far as South Park games go, because let's face it, you can only throw so many yellow snowballs. Alright, and also this week in news, the British sure know how to appreciate art, and no, biscuits are not art, Peggy. No biscuits. The Last of Us is nominated for 10, count them, 10 awards by the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. Look at that. Games in a positive light. I think I might have found my new homeland. Now, if only I could find a blue police box. Alright, guys, so major topic on the table, Titanfall. The game that was supposed to sell the most Xbox Ones is finally accepting beta from Xbox One and PC at the same time. So the question I have is, if you're going to do it at the same time, why make it an Xbox seller?
Because it's a shiny new game that can show off the tech.
It's also a shiny new game that can show off the new NVIDIA tech that's going to be in my PC.
Oh, you mean the same one that was in the demo Xbox One at E3?
You can't hardly call that an Xbox One. It's like a sheet of metal with like stuff stapled to it with duct tape around it.
Oh, okay. I'm sitting here trying not to make an Attack on Titan joke. And this video has been taken down for copyright.
Oh, with the Titanfall thing, it comes down to there's always going to be people who don't want to game on PC for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
They want the console experience, and it's changed over the years. It's no longer put the game into play. It's put the game in, do an OS update, get some updates for the game, and then you should be able to play. But ultimately, that's still the experience some people are looking for, right? They don't want to be at their computer. They don't want to have to worry about their hardware. If they have the console, the game's going to work, and those are the people that'll buy it.
Just having that image, I think of SpongeBob 9 years later.
2,000 years later.
That's me trying to load
I
Skype.
am, as Draco has and Viral has been can attest to. I've been trying to scrounge parts. I would really like to play Battlefield 4 with other people that aren't gonna Battlefield Warrior all on Xbox.
Battlefield Warfighter 5, yeah! Kenpachi Robinson!
I want to play with people on the PC, but I don't have the most recent incarnation of whatever PC is in 2008. I can't. There's no way that anything I have could possibly play Battlefield 4, and
So
therein
why
lies the
you bought
problem.
a Mac?
You could play it on a Mac. You just have to put Windows on it.
He bought a Mac, and then he complained that he couldn't play DuckTales. Now he's complaining he can't play Battlefield 4. What next? Can you not play the new Diablo 3 expansion?
It has nothing to do with being the Mac, though, because honestly, you're talking to another Mac guy here, although I did finally upgrade my GPU because of a new game. But this was from like early 2009. I was rocking the Radeon 4870. I played Bioshock Infinite with that. I've played pretty much any game I wanted. I played Battlefield 3 on that, and it hasn't been blowing my pants off, but it's been solid. I'm not getting like sub 20 frames a second or something like that. It's workable even after what, 4 or 5 years. That's not too bad for PC. No upgrades, 5 years.
That's pretty true. That's pretty good for not upgrading for 5 years. I don't know what it is, but I can't seem to go more than a year without upgrading something. It's like I get the urge to just tinker. Ooh, I'm not allowed to say that word, am I?
No.
Well, you didn't say it with its combination color, so you're good.
Okay. So no, a combo breaker. Yeah,
Combo breaker.
So another good game also for Xbox One is supposedly Killer Instinct. Whatever. I remember Killer Instinct on like the SNES. It was the only black cart SNES game out there.
A clay fighter was better.
I have that on my Game Boy somewhere.
But Titanfall, I can see bringing, I guess you could say, two multiplayer FPS fandoms together. The Mech Warrior guys, which haven't had a new game in years, and also the Battlefield people who like to play with like 64 people, I think it is. 64 people?
From my understanding, the alpha, from what I hear, was incredible.
Yeah, but seriously, like, the mechs remind me heavily of the robot from Fallout 3. Remember the, oh god, what the hell was its name? Forgot now. The one that footballed nukes. Oh, man.
Oh, I can't remember, but yeah, the good quotes from that was that democracy is non-negotiable.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Alright, so Lightning Returns. I think Squaresoft is in the business of making sequels like their Twilight. I don't know. It's seriously stupid. Like, we had Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X Part 2. Final Fantasy X Part 2, while not a bad game playthrough, is a terrible game story-wise. And a terrible,
The story was terrible.
Terrible game music-wise, because they chose like the worst K and J pop ever. Now, like Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy 9, 10, they had
6.
6 had really good music. But 8, 9, and 10 had good J-pop.
Well, does it come from someone somewhere, whether it's managers or some marketing people that are like, no, we need to differentiate this from the others? Because let's be honest, by the time you're working on like sequel 10, you kind of have to mix it up a bit. So maybe they're like, this is where we go a new route. And those don't always work out because people stick with a brand. Well, not a brand, but people are sticking with the series partially because of what it is, not because of what you're going to do with it next.
Right. I mean, but there's still the people with brand loyalty, like, I'll always buy a Final Fantasy game, or I'll always buy Call of Duty because Call of Duty's the most amazing game ever. Oh my god!
I was gonna say Call of Duty because yes, there's some people that will buy it just. Well, look at Madden games, right?
Oh god! Don't even remind me. The guy can't even draw in like perfect circles anymore. He can't even draw in circles anymore. They're starting to turn into like rhombuses. But yeah, anyway, like Lightning Returns came out, and I gotta agree with a lot of reviewers. Lightning is really boring. She is boring. Hope, the character Hope, has more depth than her.
A puddle has more depth.
I just want to say something about the possible sales of this game. Like a bolt of lightning, it'll be really quick and then gone.
That was terrible.
I'm not Crescendo, I can't do good puns.
Capacity for intelligence in this thread has been exceeded. Please restart your computer now. Thanks. No.
Don't make me fire up the soundboard.
So, like, okay, Final Fantasy X Part 2 wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. The whole back and forth through time got a little confusing. It was a little hard to keep up, but at the same time, it wasn't that bad. And the new, like, playing as Sarah, Lightning's sister, and as Noel, it's really interesting. Like, they were interesting characters. It was just they had a lot more depth. Let's just say that. And Lightning in the first game was one of those characters that was really cold, and with all the people around her started warming up, and you finally get to see emotions out of her towards the end. So it was kind of okay to see Lightning like that. But in the third game, she's more stoic than Link.
And
Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird. Alright, so Pokemon X and Y, they are getting 3 more legendaries from their new movie. It seems like every time a new movie comes out, more and more legendaries come out. Like, usually it's 1. Like, Deoxys or Darkrai. Now it's
Mewtwo.
3. Well, Mewtwo was caught
in the game to begin with.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind that was the first game too, so I don't think they had those Let's Hide stuff.
They had Mew.
They had Mew. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, they had Mew events, which I think that was at Toys R Us, GameStop, and EB Games, and they were like it lasted so long. But see, this was before the whole Nintendo wireless, like the whole Nintendo wireless Wi-Fi connection thing. It was so much harder to do because you actually had to drive somewhere to get them.
Good luck trying to talk your parents into that, because let's face it, around that time we were all probably still in middle school.
I had to know where they were, too.
Yeah, you had to know where they were, what time they were there, and you had to hope your parents got off work and you got out of school in time. Because going to a Toys R Us in a crowded city, when everybody gets off school and everybody gets off work, is a recipe for disaster.
Although I had the perfect way of getting a Mew. It's called a Game Genie.
You cheer. Missing note, right? God. Anyway, so the 3 new characters, one's got a very interesting name. Deancy. Sounds like Beyonce almost. Just saying.
You know, there's one game that I really want to see a remake of, and that's Pokemon Snap.
I don't know. After watching all those animations that kept popping up on Saber's videos, you know, I don't know.
I'm not gonna throw Apple products at them.
No. I'm talking about Super Nintendo 64.
Oh God.
Super Nintendo 64. That kind of ruined it for me. Just saying. Just saying. But anyway, so they're getting 3 new legendaries. They're all fairy types of some sort, but Deancy is, like, I think I'm pronouncing it right, it is the rock and fairy type. So yeah, like I said before, looks like Charizard's up for another one, except for it's actually got rock in it, so it's quadruple effective against Charizard. Might actually do something.
Balance. What's balance?
Is Charizard still an ungodly Pokemon?
Charizard is still a fire-flying Pokemon, and since Fairy is strong against Dragon, it is not strong against Charizard because he's not Dragon-type, but he has Dragon-type moves.
Apparently, it was supposed to end. The creator of Pokemon, he intended for the series to end, I believe, at Gold and Silver, I think it was.
Johto. Yeah. He ended his official story in Johto.
You're never gonna kill the silver goose, right? Golden goose. Silver goose either, but you don't kill the golden goose. And the fact that Pokemon is still strong is, I don't know whether it's a testament to the quality, or just the fact that they keep making games.
You know, I've seen a horrible possible future for a show we all hold dear. Pokemon's been going on for how long as far as the cartoon is concerned?
Yeah, and Ash is still 10.
You know, he actually, for his mantra, gotta catch them all, he's only caught, what, like 40 maybe?
He's taking his time.
He's biding his time.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't very effective.
Oh, god damn it.
No, but I don't know. Like, the fact that they've got, I guess it's par for the course that they have the tie-in characters, but it's nice that they're doing that. If for nothing else, then it shows that they've got a plan and they're just not, flying by the seat of their pants. It's there's a direction, whether it's sadly just marketing focused or not, that they have this stuff thought out. And at least that's something nice to see, because it means that you're likely not to see the next game or future installments just slapped together. That they still are thinking this out and planning several steps ahead. So
what's that? Making a cartoon to sell games and merchandise? Who would ever think of that? I have no idea who else could think of that. I mean, there is aisles and aisles of toys, and I don't see one that has a popular cartoon on it at all, with a popular game series that is totally made to bankrupt people and their little kids on iPhones.
And has made an entire fandom based around it that discuss it and analyze it.
Was that Twilight Sparkle? I don't know who that is either. Was that Kill Them All? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not like every company does it, but there's a lot of companies that milk the cow way too much. When you start getting evaporated milk, it's time to stop and let old Bessie rest.
There's a problem when you buy the next Pokemon game and you actually have to spend real money to upgrade your Pokeballs. That's when the series has jumped the shark. As long as they're delivering a self-contained experience, that's good enough, I think.
Yeah,
that would be the Pokemon MMO.
I give them 2 more games.
You know, an MMO Pokemon wouldn't be that bad. If it's done right, it would not be that bad.
Buy extra. Start with 3 slots. Buy extra Pokeball slots for $20 each.
No. I mean, just like a real MMO where you buy into it and it's good. I mean, not like the microtransactions thing, but
who buys into MMOs anymore? Hasn't pretty much everything gone free to play?
Guild Wars 2. You buy into that. You buy it once and you play it.
Well, yeah, but that's, I guess.
We're not talking pay to play here. I'm done pay to play. Well, I say I'm done, but I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 still.
So you're not done?
I'm not done.
And you're probably going to play WildStar.
WildStar looks amazing.
Glorified Skinner boxes.
Oh, shut up.
I'm sorry, they are.
Anyway.
Every game is, isn't it?
Anyway, okay, so, yeah. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but personally, I don't care to see another South Park game. I really just not.
There's only one stick that actually matters in this day and age, and that's the gas-powered stick.
Gas-powered stick! Never runs out of gas! Fucking impossible. Yeah!
Gas-powered stick?
Gas-powered stick! It never runs out of gas!
You've not seen Bravest Warriors?
Apparently not.
It's a Pendleton word creation. How do you not know this?
We're watching this after.
Yes, we are.
Watching this after.
Yes, we are. And I'm leaving this part in the episode, so screw get chided.
I love it.
So, Stick and Truth has been delayed so many times.
How many has it?
I have no freaking clue, really, to be honest with you. I can't remember. I think THQ owned it at one point in time, and they had to get rid of it. I can't remember. But anyway, Obsidian Games, yeah, Obsidian Games. They're hit and miss a lot lately. I mean, New Vegas was pretty good. Neverwhere Nights 2 was KOTOR 2 was great. Dungeon Siege 3 blew blew. It just blew. I can't think of a PG term besides blew. It was pretty bad. Like, really bad. Like, terribly bad. Like, shared everything in multiplayer, bad. Inventory and gold. And camera.
Yes, but you started off with, you don't want to see another South Park game. Why not?
Okay, remember?
Is it because you don't think it'll be good, or you're tired of them, or...
It's South Park. They should stick to what they do best, which is making fun of people in paper cut animations.
Well, but that's what this looks like to me. When I'm seeing gameplay footage, I'm like, wow, this is pretty damn close to something from the show. When you look back at like some of the older games, you couldn't do that. You had really flat shaded 3D models, PlayStation 1 graphics and all that, and it approximated what you could do with, to achieve, I guess, the look of the show. But games have come so far that you can basically take any style that a show or anything has, you could replicate that as close as you feel like.
Are we talking about the old N64?
Yes, I am. It was so terrible.
Oh god, the biggest problem I had was the fog. You couldn't find where anything was.
No,
you could spend hours and you don't know what the heck you are.
You can make yellow snow all the time you wanted, and then you could also like shoot the cow launcher, but it wasn't very engaging. It wasn't very fun. Nope. It was just a video game made by the South Park people to get sales because South Park. And I'm just thinking here for a second. How long has South Park been out if South Park was on N64?
But the show has matured so well.
Wait, matured or immatured?
Well, it has a point to it. It's lampooning, it's satire, it's got wit. Old South Park didn't have wit. It was shock value and toilet humor. That's what a lot of the old South Park was.
Like literally, and sometimes with Mr. Hanky.
Exactly. Versus, you look at the topics that they've covered. That's one of the things. The production schedule of the show. I think I'm getting off on off topic here.
This is pretty good on topic because, like, it's talking about the South Park as a series and it includes the games because let's face it, South Park 64 was terrible. It was just terrible. It was just a game to sell because South Park was popular. That's it.
Yes, but you're talking about the console that had Superman 64. I'm sorry, that was kind of before the generation
also had StarCraft 64, which was pretty bad port.
Right. So you're talking about before, I guess, the era of the AAA game, if I can say that, because the budgets and the design that games had back then does not compare to anything with what studios have available to them now.
Kazooie was amazing back then.
But that's what kept that was, I guess, what made the industry worthwhile and what kept people around were those little gems. And yes, some consoles had tons of those, but yeah, there were, I think, around, like, especially the N64 times, it was greatly hit and miss.
Okay, so Stick of Truth. Let's go ahead and have a discussion of the E3 trailer because I'm totally not going to play that. The E3 trailer was actually pretty entertaining. The whole cartoon of Stan's dad teaching this kid how to fart. That was pretty entertaining, actually. The cartoon series I find entertaining. Sometimes it's kind of hit and miss for me. The video games, I have a bad taste in my mouth just because of the old 64 game. What do you guys think that the new game will actually do? Will it try to follow more of an episodic, like a South Park episode? Or will they try to break new ground like they did with the N64 game and completely screw up?
I'm just going to call it right now. It's going to be crap.
I'm going to be cautiously optimistic here in terms... Well, I guess it depends on how much involvement, I guess, the people from the show had, because that's one of the things you find with games is when, whether it's a movie or any kind of adaptation, if the adaptation is bad, I mean, it can have great mechanics, but it's still going to suck because you're comparing it to the source material. And I think that's what it's, like you said, it's going to come down to whether it kind of keeps the feel of the show and I guess the storytelling, the pacing of that. it's going to be a game. There's going to be compromises. That's the other side of it. Every time there's an adaptation, there have to be compromises. What works in a television show format doesn't work in a game format.
So let's round out this the end of this episode here with Bafta here, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts. That's a mouthful there. Nominating not just The Last of Us, but several video games. What do you guys think? I mean, that's kind of a good push in the right direction, but the only problem is it's in England and not America, where in America they're blaming that toys are having bad sales on video games.
One thing I'll say in the US, when you guys have had awards that involve video games, it always seems to be brought to you by Mountain Dew and Doritos, and the game of the year hasn't been released yet.
This is true.
And I'll put my faith in the BAFTAs to actually put thought, I guess, into to have integrity as far as these awards go.
Well, until you push a bunch of Jaffa cakes in one direction, and then they get that.
Oh, come on! I doubt Simon.
No, there's going to be no Yars cast references. No, bad viral.
Well, as long as the BAFTA doesn't turn out to be a complete joke like most video game award shows.
Well, it's not just video games; it's actual TV series and whatnot. I'm sure Sherlock will be on there at some point in the new Doctor Who.
Okay, so they have some clue of what they're doing.
Yeah, it's general television, film and television arts, which they include video games and television arts, because back in the day, you had to have a TV to play video games, for the most part.
I had a Commodore monitor. Does that count?
Maybe if you're James Rolfe.
Hey, I still use that thing for playing my old NES.
Hey, when you wear your glasses and when you don't wear your glasses, you still look like James Rolfe. So, you got enough anger there, that's for damn sure. But yeah, the Baptists, I think, can actually... I put my trust in them a little bit more because he mentioned Last of Us. Last of Us is a beautiful game. Just all around beautiful.
Yeah, well, it is, but like every game that gets all that attention, you're running into tons of people who say, "Oh, it's completely overrated and it's complete garbage."
Well, that's because it's fanboys talking.
There's those people, and I think for the most part, they're hipsters because it's so popular. They don't want to be on that side. They're the trendy and edgy people. We don't like it because it's too mainstream. I'm going to go over here and type my blog in Starbucks.
Well, or you run into those people that say, "Well, it's you're fighting zombies, you have guns. What's unique about that?" It's like the people that called BioShock Underwater Quake. It's like, yes, if you run around, read nothing, pay attention to nothing, don't listen to the characters, and just shoot anything that moves, it's Underwater Quake, but it kind of misses the point, doesn't it? And I guess a question: how do you think, looking back, you played a bunch of other games since then? Do you think that The Last of Us is going to, because 10 categories is a lot, but when you're up against some other games that, whether you technical or storytelling merit, Assassin's Creed 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a lot of really good games that it's up against. Do you think that do you think it's as good as everyone always said it was?
That's a good question, and I'm not too sure if you can answer that biasedly enough to where you can compare them to all those games. So I personally hate GTA games, so I'm very biased against them. So to me, that question is a little much for me to answer personally. But I'm sure these people, since they're more of artistic in their choices and in their picks, that they'll be able to give a more accurate judgment rather than me, who will just say, "Screw GTA, I hate GTA, bottom of the list." But I don't know.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Yeah. So yeah, totally awesome that she's going to be singing that, by the way. All right, guys, that's the end of the episode. Thank again, Ramble, for coming in. Screwless, not nearly enough time with you lately, and Viral, happy as always. just got a few things to end this episode with. First of all, we have picked a name for when we go to change to our site at the end of tax season. We're going to rebrand. We got a new name. We're already getting this stuff flowing to where we can give you a site that looks better, that has better content, that has more streamlined and more often content, I should say, content posting, as well as some fun little tidbits and stream windows. That way we can not only make a little bit of ad revenue off the site, because let's face it, cons and travel and camera equipment are not cheap. While it might not cost you anything, it costs us a lot, and just going to our site will help with that a little bit. The new name and everything else will be revealed when the site is launched. Also, we have a couple of announcements here. We're going to have Laura Shikihara on for a live interview to talk about her new game, Raccoon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I hope she doesn't chide me about that later. Raccoon, and she's going to give away. I think she's going to give away some things. I'm not too sure on that. I will let everybody know on that. Haven't talked to her since 2 weeks ago, so we're going to finalize that. Also, Heart and Slash has gotten in touch with us. We're going to get an interview with them. So if you don't know what Heart and Slash is, it's a neat little game about a robot named Heart. He goes around slashing apart robots until he finds true love.
I wonder how they came up with that name.
Gee, I wonder.
Very creative.
I know, right? Looks like Okami, to be honest with you. So we got that coming up. So new site, new name. Gonna have more people. We're gonna have more content. We're gonna have a lot easier to read content and a lot easier to watch content. Thank you for watching and listening to episode 58. My name's Draco, joined by Ramble.
Thank you.
Screw Loose.
I don't think we're gonna have tutors already.
And Viral.
Yay.
We're gonna see you next time. Remember, Sundays, 8 o'clock Eastern, only on Everfree Network.
Huh? Wow, how long was I asleep? Feels like I woke up from a horrible nightmare, where I was going to have to sing pony songs in front of hundreds of people. Phew, glad that's over. Fine.
There have been 34 SingStar games since 2004, when the series was launched, and so far they've been exclusive to PlayStation. Of course, you can't tell PC gamers that they can't have something, and so a SingStar clone called Ultrastar popped up. Fast forward a couple of years and a group of avid pony fans, including
the My Little Karaoke team of Renard and Smiley.
Hey guys, I'm Smiley.
Hi there.
Release a modified version of the latest Ultrastar Deluxe, filled to the brim with MLP songs.
They called it My Little Karaoke, Singing is Magic.
If you've ever played SingStar, this will be immediately familiar to you. Lyrics are displayed across the bottom of the screen, accompanied by bars representing pitch above. You sing into a microphone and it measures the pitch of your voice, comparing it to the song and awarding points for accuracy. Different difficulty levels change how accurate you have to be, and therefore the difficulty. There are near enough 300 songs available as of the first update pack, and there's a huge variety. Every song from Series 1 to 3 are here, including those from the movie, which must not be named, as well as a ton of foreign language versions of said songs, and most importantly, fan songs.
I suppose you want me to demonstrate now, don't you? Let's get this over with.
See the world they're living in. Everybody tells me that it's old and fake mythology. It's a mystery. anthropology. These animals don't listen, no, not one little bit. They run around out of control and throw their hissy fits. It's up to me to stop them, 'cause plainly you can see it's got to be my destiny, and it's what my cutie mark is telling me. In Ponyville shimmers, morning in Ponyville shines, and I know for absolute certain that everything is certainly fine. Their mare en route to her office, the surfer quirks selling some quills. Ponyville is so gentle and still, and am I so wrong to think that they might love me too? Then shouldn't they adore me? Is it not within my right? I'll not be overshadowed, mine is not the lesser light.
In playing it, the biggest thing I've noticed is that it's very easy to fall into the trap of attempting an impression of the character or person singing. This is extremely difficult to avoid when hearing an Apple family drawl. Regardless, this game is free and will run on pretty much any modern computer you throw it at. As long as you own a microphone, of course.
Whew. Now that's over, I can hit the button again and hope for something less embarrassing. Next time, we'll be playing Scribblenauts Unlimited. Superstar.